Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are in the loser semifinals, and we have here Oliver Rochin playing against Aaron Friedman. I am Marcos Pataro, and I'm joined today by Martin Wagner. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Feels good to be back again. And yeah, we're finally down to the last few players, and it's just amazing. It has been such an amazing journey, after the last 2 months. A lot
Indeed.
of tournaments have passed by, a lot of games have been commentated, and yeah, it's just amazing to be here, right?
Exactly. It's been a lot of casting in this, but I really really do it willingly, and as well all the people that have worked for this tournament. Thank you so much, and as well to all the people that have spectated, to all the people that have played. Thank you very much for making this possible. As well here we have uh, a culmination of all the decks that we've seen. For example, in this match, Oliver is playing his ADP Zation that he won the first qualifier with, and we have Iron Friedman. We're instead piloting the Picarom that we see exploding in the past two invitationals qualifiers.
Yeah, kind of a matchup of two decks that are already known, that are not, yeah, that have fallen out of favor a little bit, but yeah, they're still both going really strong and proving why they have to be reckoned with and why you
Indeed.
can't underestimate them.
I would say on paper, Pikrom is the favorite deck in this matchup, just for the fact that it's able to, deal the shots of damage quickly and being able to put up the pressure thanks to the speed lightning energies, the ball tune for the late game, and many other things. However, Oliver is playing this very interesting list with 3 acrobatics and 4 order pad, which definitely gives it that extra peppery taste, makes it very quick, and I really like it, and I think it's the right approach to take on Pikarom.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and we also see, like, yeah, when in the ADP, the order pads, like you touched on that, right? The order pads are like really supplementing, I feel like, the rest of the build. If you have combos like Energy Switch plus Metal Saucer available to you, the order pad really helps with getting everything together. And I think yeah, it's kind of here to balance out the lower counts of other cards. Like, there are not as many switching cards available for Oliver, for example. And yeah, order pad is kind of here to get you that card whenever you need it, and just allow you to have more combo potential.
Indeed, indeed. It's a flip card, but overall, I think ADP Zation needs to adapt, and right now he is in the loser semifinals, so he came a long way. He performed pretty well as well on the internationals. He won one. Um, and I would say ADP Zation was not really the deck I would have expected to see right now. But of course, it has pretty decent matchups against Spiritomb. It has okay matchups against Dragapult and against Pikarom. If this version can work, then it can definitely have the upper hand. Because of course, you're hitting 260 with Zacian, which is right the amount to knock out a Pikarom. However, you do have some troubles taking the knockout, for example, on the Raichu.
Yeah.
And especially if the opponents play a big charm, it's really, really hard for you to actually come on top in the early turns.
Yeah, do we want to talk about yeah, Aaron's Pika list a little bit? I think it's
Sure.
nothing too out of the ordinary. It's like it tries to maximize consistency and cards
Yeah.
that improve certain matchups by a lot. I think the Mellow and Lana and One Guzmahala are certainly viable inclusions. And yeah, I think we've seen a bit of adaptations going from the last two qualifiers have been made to Picarom. Wondrous Labyrinth is kind of a new card to the block. People have been going up on the basic energy counts and cutting back on the speed lightning energies. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, in general, I think it's nothing that's too yeah, that's too crazy, but it has been working wonders for Aaron. So yeah, it's just a solid list overall, I would say.
Indeed. And this is kind of the counterpart to Kim's list that we saw in the past qualifiers and also in this invitational. As you said, he maximized the consistency. Plays free Professor Research, free Marnie, which is always helpful, and also 2 speed energies. I'm not sure about the speed energies. I really, really like the card, and I think 4 copies of it can really make the difference. But I understand where you're coming from with saying that the basic energy count is better because you can explode it with Tapu Koko. You can also search it, for example, with an opponent Viridian. Overall, they're just basic energy cards which cannot be discarded, but for example, by Zamazenta or any other weird shenanigans.
Yeah, and it looks like we are ready to start to get into the game, and we will see how the different choices play out, and we'll see, yeah, what comes out on top on the very end. I agree with you that like Speed Lightning Energy, for especially, is like it has a huge pop of potential if you draw it in your opening hand. Like it extends your combos so much. But yeah, having those basic energies can sometimes just be uh, the thing that you need to put your over the top, right? If you can utilize it with Coco Prism and stuff, and full blitz and go from there. So we'll see. Maybe Aaron will help us to settle the debate once and for all which
Indeed,
is the
indeed.
better choice.
Jumping right into the game. Here we go. There's a start. I believe they he pressed the wrong deck because that's a Keldeo EX. That's not the correct deck. Oh well,
Yeah,
we'll
looks like he chose the
probably
wrong deck, I guess.
yeah, we'll probably have a judge come over to double check the situation. Yeah, pretty unfortunate here. Of course, if this would not happen in real life, I don't think it would have. Um,
Yeah,
I don't
that,
think
that
he would have
that
put
doesn't
picked the
happen to
wrong
you
deck.
in real life, right? If you go to a real
Yeah,
tournament, you don't put the wrong deck in the sleeves and then you pick it. Nah, yeah, just maybe a simple misclick. Let's see um, how we resolve this. Yeah, but maybe
yeah. I think we're just restarting. There shouldn't
yes. Looks
be
like it.
there shouldn't be any problems. Aaron just saying he's very tired. And there we go. We're probably jumping with the right decks this time into the game. So yeah, it happens. It happens. C'est la vie.
Yeah, misclicks happen online all the time.
Indeed.
And yeah, I've lost some games on PTCGO due to misclicks, and uh, yeah, Oliver goes first,
Indeed.
and
Oliver goes first, and that's a pretty good start actually. Pikarom, Energy, and Thunder Mountain. If he draws another Energy, he's in a wonderful spot. And maybe even if he draws some extra cards, maybe a Professor Research, he could even try for a turn 1 Full Blitz, which is absolutely amazing
yeah,
against an opponent starting with ADP.
you love to see the Thunder Mountain in your opening hand since it's not that easy to find. You just get it and then go from there. But we see Oliver starting it off with an order pet, and yeah, really
Fortunate
um,
Tales.
yeah, but
So
he
there's
can
the
still
Dana.
extend with data change. We're looking for an energy card to attach
It
ADP.
probably,
You know how it
yeah,
goes, right? In the first few turns, you just attach a bunch of times, and then you
of
use that
course.
bonkers advantage that the GX
Indeed.
attack of ADP gives you.
He does discard an energy, so probably has another one in his hand. And of course, starting ADP against Pikarom is not the best thing because you always want to have maybe a Zacian onto the active, which can tank 2 attacks, especially a full blitz. But instead, the ADP is like the Pikarom player is more than happy to invest 2 attacks into it. And we
Yeah.
see here air balloon attach, and probably see at the Deniton one pretty risky plays. I think he had an energy that he found, but just decided to go for this play, which is a bit more risky. We saw Oliver already a bunch of times going for this risky lines of play, and let's see if it actually pays off in this situation.
Yeah, maybe he's using data change, is looking for switch card to get the ADP out of the active. I agree with you on that. If the Pikarom gets the first hit in on the ADP, you can just very easily target the ADP down when it moves to the bench after all that creation and just knock it out on top of plus something like a Zacian and then take 5 easy prizes that way. So yeah, but it looks like the ADP will be stuck in the active for now, and if Aaron is able to push for a turn 1 full blitz here, it would certainly reward him very much.
Yeah, of course. But looking at his hand, I don't think there's anything but
Yes.
bad things. There is a Bolton, however, there is no switch. There is a Thunder Mountain, however, there's no way to actually exploit that. Maybe Aaron should have kept playing with that Keldeo EX because it's not looking great for him. He does have the Malin Lana if he wants to. However, he decided to touch the energy on the Pikarom, just going for that. I'm not so sure about this. I would have preferred to see the Malin Lana and the energy onto the Bolton.
Yes,
Um,
I agree with that, right? At least it gives you something to work with. If you start accelerating energies into play with Electrify, then you can go from there. But
yeah.
yeah, just playing it slow. He's not under that much pressure, I guess, from Oliver.
Mhm.
He's most likely just going for an auto creation and then
Yeah, of
trying
course.
to ultimate ray. But if your ADP gets to ultimate ray, you feel pretty good about that. And Aaron is
Indeed,
not
indeed.
doing a lot to prevent that right now.
And I would say actually, yeah, he should have went for that line of play just because the fact, of course, as you say, the ADP deck does not put pressure into the because it can't. It could have went for 230 damage with the Zacian, but is that really what I want to do with an ADP deck? No. So I think he should have went for this, just trying to set up some energies on the board, because right now, if he doesn't draw an energy, if he doesn't draw anything good, then he basically lost another turn.
Yeah, you're not even guaranteed to draw anything. And also, I would have liked to see the Thunder Mountain hit the board because Aaron knows that Oliver is playing one Chaotic Swell, and if that
Yeah,
Chaotic Swell would have hit the board right here, then it would have been game over anyway.
indeed,
But
indeed.
there's an energy from the top, so there will be a
Yeah,
full
everything
blitz.
goes for the best. Best case scenario here for Aaron, and nothing really happens. Draws an energy and is able to set up. Maybe he will actually put his energies onto the Pikarom, but it's always a risky play to invest them all into one Pokemon. And since he has also energy switch, I'm pretty sure these energies will hit the Bolton.
Yes, Bolton is also like it's kind of it's tanky enough to survive an ultimate race, so I don't mind it as like holding the energy for now. And of course, you're always flexible enough to just move them around with energy switches and stuff. There's finally an order pad hits, and Oliver decides to go for a switch card. You
So
know,
there's the switch
you can play
finally,
four
and
switch, or you can play four order
yeah,
pad and just two switch, and then
they
just
just
flip
draw
heads.
it.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's the Zacian finally hitting the active spot, and this is just looking great for Oliver. We saw him yesterday on stream. He was a bit bumpy his game, like he didn't draw really the card he wanted. He was pretty unlucky. But I think today he's doing pretty well. Look at that start, 4 prizes already on turn 3. What more do you want? And that Bolton, if nothing happens on Aaron part of the field, will just fall to the. It's a battle between the dogs right now.
Yeah, just the Bolton on its own is not really that threatening, and yeah, Oliver really able to capitalize on the slow start from Aaron, and looks like Aaron will finally go for Dedenne, and
Yeah, it
he
really
he
needs a
got the quick
miracle
board.
here,
Yeah.
because absolutely, if he doesn't find the amazing turn right now, which is still doable, like he could try to do something really weird in which he knocks out both the Zacian and the ADP with some tag ball shenanigans, but I think that's basically impossible at this point. And of
Yes.
course, the Zacian will just take the knockout on the Bolton if it's able to retreat, and it's gonna be game.
Or even if the Zacian goes down, which is certainly
Yeah,
like
there
it's
there are so
possible
many
with
outs,
like a
so
tech
many outs.
with the tech board and stuff, you could knock out the
Yeah,
Zacian, but then the ADP could just go and Great Catcher, the Dedenne, and then Ultimate Ray for the last remaining prizes. So there are
indeed.
certainly a few routes to victory that Oliver could take, but I'm interested in seeing like what does Aaron even go for here. He got the first step, stamping your opponent down to 2. It's the first thing you want to do. Um,
Hmm.
More Wonders Labyrinth not doing him a whole bunch of good right now, since he's the one that needs to apply pressure and attack. And I think if you raise your own attack costs by 1 here, then you make it so much harder for yourself to get a meaningful attack of
Hmm.
this turn. So it's kind of a tough
So
spot.
yeah, the Bolton here will not hit, I think, for enough damage. He will be able to attack, however, thanks to that Wondrous Labyrinth when he has 3 energies attached. The Tapu Koko could accelerate 1 more energy, that's fine. Actually, 2 more energies, so that's more damage. But I don't think it's enough to take the knockout authorization.
Yeah, Bolt Storm coming out, 190 damage. The Metal Frying Pan really coming in clutch
Yeah,
here, preventing the
any more
Zacian from going
damage would
down.
have 1 more energy would have done it. But there's the switch as well, so that's just gonna be game. Brave Blade, and even the extra energy is so
Yeah.
perfect, absolutely perfect here.
He
for
needed
Oliver.
that extra
Everything went down
energy.
his way.
Yes. 260 damage coming out, taking out the Boltons. 200 HP, not tanky enough to save him from the superior dog, I would say, in Zacian.
Yeah.
And yeah, Oliver moving on to 1-0 record, and we'll see. Maybe Aaron will decide to go first in the second game. I'm really interested always in seeing whether the Pika player chooses to go first or second. Um, Choosing to go first could give you that valuable attachment on your Pika versus ADP, and then you're able to apply a little bit more pressure maybe, but yeah, let's see who
It's
goes
the
first.
eternal debate whether to go first or not when you're playing ADP and when you're playing Pikarom. Of course, going first with Pikarom means that you will not be able to full blitz turn 1, but it also will mean a safer line of play. However, letting the ADP going second means they will be able to do a supporter, and we saw before how close was Oliver to actually whiff the energy and how much he needed to dig in order to draw it. So there we go. That's the start. ADP start again from Oliver. As I said, it's not the best start. But of course, if Aaron is unable to capitalize on it as he did in the last game, it's gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah, but Aaron's hand right here looking much better. Has all the options, quick ball to go for the basic Pokemon of his choice, probably. Yeah, Pikarom, and you get the attachment down. You get the speed lightning energy that you can attach, generate even more card advantage. And I think a turn 2 full blitz here from Aaron is exactly what he's looking at, and I think it's really likely here. And
Yeah, it's fantastic.
the deck is
Absolutely. I would
already
say,
working better than in the
yeah,
last game.
the best thing that Oliver could play right now, the Oliver could do right now, is to switch into a station if he has another Switch as well. But as you mentioned, he does play only 2 copies of the Switch because he plays those 4 order pads. So yeah, it's actually the ADP start is probably the worst here for Oliver. But let's see. Once again, another tails from the order pad.
Air Balloon, yeah, Air Balloon is like kind of suboptimal if you have ADP, right? Because it has 3 retreat and you still need that energy attachment to retreat it. I think it's not
Yeah,
the end of the world if you can retreat it after the alternate creation GX.
yeah, of
If you
course. It's
just
just
move
not to
off,
just
like
throw it to the wind.
yeah, you energy switch off the metal maybe, and you treat for the water, and then you're good to go. I guess
Yeah, yeah.
is the theory, but yeah, it's he gets a quick ball, so Zacian will most likely be hitting the board, and there will be an intrepid sword. So Oliver, as well, gathering some resources on the first turn, has something to work with on the second turn, and hopefully he gets the energy attachment. That would be really crucial. Um,
There's Zacian once again. Are you guys tired of Zacian already? He's always been there. 2 metas, 2 whole metas, and he just be standing there
Oranguru
in
coming
fine with
out.
that sword in his
Yeah,
mouth. There's an Oranguru. And there's an acrobat, so he just decides to go for the energy there onto the shot, and that interestingly discards at the Dede.
yeah, I think putting down the Denver speakers like super dangerous here. I'm
Yeah.
not really sure if Oliver plays Mew. I don't think he does. So, he
Well,
has the
instead,
other one in hand
here it is.
anyway. So I guess yeah, and he discards the energy. So interesting.
You know, when sometimes you miss the altered creation turn 2/1, or even amazingly, Oliver here could try. Wait, did he attach the energy on the Zacian from his end?
no, it was Metal Saucer. So
Okay, and
he could have
unfortunately,
gone
just
for
has
the
the Intrepid Sword. Yeah,
turn one
yeah, yeah,
altered creation. I think that was his line of play. That's why he
yeah.
discarded the other metal energy of the Dedenne, because he was like, yeah, I can get the turn one altered creation right here, but unfortunately did not get it. I think that's also a little bit like of the logic behind playing order pads, because it can allow you to get off the turn one altered creation going second more consistently if you flip heads, but of course it's still risky. Aaron
And
has to
interestingly, here Aaron does not go for the Goodsman Hala. I believe he had both Thunder
yeah.
Mountain and the Speed lining in the deck.
I
I'm not
don't
sure
know
about
if
the
the
Speed
Guzma
lining.
Hala itself was in the deck.
I think it was. Yeah, it was. Let's
Okay,
double
let's
check
see.
right now. So decides to go for 0 in the Dene. Will not be able to see the deck, unfortunately.
Yeah, Guzma Hala would have given him all the pieces right here, with the like speed lightning energy and the balloon and the Thunder Mountain as well. So yeah, that would
Yeah,
have
he did
been
have also the switch, so didn't even need the balloon.
yeah,
I'm not
true.
sure, however, if he had the speed lining in the deck. I'm not 100% sure. So that might be in the missing piece. I'm pretty sure the Thunder Mountain was there. And unfortunately here, Aaron whiffs, does not find the Thunder Mountain or the Coco and Energy Switch that he needed.
That's always the worst feeling if you go first. You get the attachment down on your Pika, and then you're still not able to full blitz on the following turn. It always feels kind of rough um, to be in that spot if you have to power up your full blitz manually by just attaching 3 times.
Indeed.
We
So there
see.
we go. Once again, Oliver just keep pushing and pushing, eventually reaching onto this altered creation, which I think is still his line of play. Sometimes you can play the Picaro matchup just by playing with the Zacians, but you usually want to have 2 Zacians set up. And I think right now, since Aaron whiffed, Oliver is not really pressured. So yeah, he can just go for another Intrepid Sword. I do like this.
Yeah, would
This,
have. Yeah, I think he
yes,
would have liked to see an energy switch maybe and go for the altered creation this turn if he
yeah,
had it,
definitely.
but it's not like the end of the game if you don't get it here. But Aaron finally powering up his Pika with 3 attachments and yeah, finally able to full blitz and decides to put all the energy on the active. I think he's not really pressured a lot to like. He won't get knocked out on this turn
Oh
because
yeah,
there
I
has not been.
absolutely like this. I
Yeah.
absolutely like this. This will just grant him 5 prizes next turn, unless Oliver is able to put up 2 pens onto the decision, but I think he only plays 1. So he's in a great spot. He knows that Oliver has no way to actually one-shot the speaker arm, doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve, and has the boss soldiers in hand. And as well, Oliver discarded 3 Marnies. So absolutely perfect trap here. However, there's the Malon Lana. That might
Melon
change
coming in
plans.
clutch here.
Indeed.
Putting the ADP out of range from the tech board. I mean, there's still the Dana to be gathered off the bench, but that's
Indeed.
only quote unquote for prizes. Um,
Exactly. Let's find the boss's orders. So as long as he's able to, power up Araichu and maybe have 2 more electro powers, he's in a fine spot. However, this game is still much more open because of the Malalana. Malalana is a great card that I'm happy to see being played again because healing is a very skill-intensive mechanic in the game. Because healing in the wrong part of the game can just cost you the whole game plan. But however, here it's the absolutely perfect time here for Oliver. However,
yeah,
Oliver right now is left with nothing on the board, if not this ADP. That better be a Professor Research in his hand.
I also like it that Melolana comes with such a huge drawback that it forces you to switch and discard 2 cards. So
Indeed.
it
It's very balanced. It's a very balanced
It
card.
feels really balanced. Yes. And yeah, Aaron tries to start working towards setting up a backup attacker, and he still has Tapu Koko Prism available as well. And Oliver not having a great turn here, just going for the ultimate ray, not able to take out the Picarom with the Zacian here.
Yeah,
Would have needed a lot, but not able to do so.
exactly. And Aaron here can even go for a Malo and Lana so that this he even has a boss's orders as long as Oliver does not draw an amazing card, which by the way will be the card that he put on top of thanks to the Primate Wisdom. So we'll just see one more card thanks to another Primate Wisdom. I think he's in a great spot. He doesn't really need to do anything. If he wants to put a nail in the coffin, he can just go for the paralysis with Raichu if able. Otherwise, yeah, he's in a good spot. He can just do 150 and next turn clear it up with the boss orders.
Yes, you certainly have like a bunch of options that you can go for here. If you Aaron, trying to see like if there's a possibility for him to close out the game this turn. He would need like I think stuff like Thunder Mountain and Energy, and then the Bolt Hunt would be able to no, wouldn't be able,
Yeah.
yeah, would be able to take the knockout with the electro power, I think. But
Mhm.
yeah, going for the full blitz here is also fine. You're not in a rush, you can just full
Yeah,
blitz.
he's just chilling.
Yeah,
Even the
chilling.
Bolted here is another great attacker. Unfortunately, a lot of energies will be removed here due to that. So yeah, I think the energies should go on to the Alolan Raichu. And I think that's pretty much it, unless Oliver is able to turn these around, which I don't really see how he can do that.
Yeah, that's also something about Melon Lan as
Oof.
well, right? Because it comes with such a huge drawback, you're not really able to spam it and back-to-back heal and stuff.
Yeah,
So, yeah, you have that one time 120 heal, you have to use it well. And yeah, if there, we know that Aaron has the boss order in hand and will
yeah.
be able to close out the game
Thanks to the
with the
electro
right
power, that would
structure.
be. Oh no, actually, he has 180 damage. It's just the frame. It's like
Yes.
the pixels. Couldn't really see that. But there we go. That's the switch. Process orders, and this will just clear down this RTC Elegant Palkia. And that's gonna be game. So 1-on-1. Oliver taking the first game pretty convincingly, and a bit of hiccups in the second game. And overall, Aaron had an amazing start, although he whiffed, but he was even able to put up some pressure. And this really shows how much Pikarom and ADP are two decks that can really chase after each other.
Yes, it really shows that, right, if you miss a beat, then that can come back to bite you. But if you're able to keep up, then the two decks are just trading blows with each other. And yeah, it's about if Pika can outspeed or not. Yeah, Oliver here deciding to go first. And let's see if Aaron gets the thermal full blitz this time. I think a lot of it comes down to this. If you get the turn one full blitz as Pika,
Yeah,
then you can go from there.
it's an okay start. Starting with Pikarom in the active is never something you want to see, but of course, these new versions of Pikarom do not play Jirachi anymore. So I would say actually Pikarom is the best starter if you don't have any other Pokemons. But there we go. That's the Boltund. Unfortunately, hits the hand a bit too late. But it's a really good hand. Like two energies that can be discarded with the Dene, speed lining energies to draw some extra cards. There is all the right cards to have a turn one full blitz.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here for sure. And yeah, Oliver is just looking for an energy, energy ADP, and then Intrepid Sword maybe. So let's see if he
Yeah.
gets that this time, or
There's
if
the
he will
Acrobatic,
stumble once again. I mean, he has the energy already in hand, so he just needs the ADP.
Odepad, and this is 3 games in which he tries an Odepad on turn 1, and it's a Tails. So pretty sorry, Oliver, but unfortunately that's the downside of flip cards, which is, by the way, not a thing to balance cards TPCI. Please don't balance cards by giving them a flip. So there's a quick ball. This would just mean probably an ADP will hit the bench, and it's great. ADP with water energy is all you want.
Yes, ADP coming down, water energy, air balloon, and yeah, now it's on Aaron. If he can
Yes.
combo off well enough and
Decides to go for the safer play, decides to attach that energy there onto the Boltund, and probably just going for the Electrify this turn. It's fine considering Oliver's low start. However, if he wanted to really try to put some pressure, he could have went just for the energies onto the Pikarom. And he does have all the pieces, the Tapu Koko and the Thunder Mountain in the deck if he wants to go down that line. So
yeah,
let's see how he follows up.
I think they're like yeah, one Electropower just price, and I couldn't catch the whole rest. But yeah, it looks like all the important pieces are in the deck. Nothing too important is priced, and yeah, we will see research just throwing all the stuff in the discard pile, getting the lightning energies in the
Yeah.
discard, and going
Pretty
from there.
unfortunate
Really.
here. I think it was just one card short,
Mm-hmm.
but he would have need to attach the energies anyway to the Pikarom in order to do this. To have a turn one full blitz. However, we just can electrify. This is still fine. It's still
Yes.
really good. It will grant a turn two full blitz. And so this actually might need to attach the energy onto the right shoot. That's fine too.
Yeah,
No
spraying out
worries
the
there.
energy a little bit. So
And
you
Oliver needs to accelerate somehow because if he just altered creation this turn, it's not much, and it will just telegraph. Oh no, he will just alter creation. This just means that Oliver's hand is not great.
Yeah, probably definitely no draw supporter in there, and that's rough. That's like super rough. You need to grab more cards. You need to get your Zations on board, and um,
Yeah,
a paralysis
and
here
I
could
like this
even.
play. I absolutely like it because right now you could go for a full blitz, but there's no necessity for doing that because you're already well set up. You have enough energies. If he goes for the Raichu and Raichu, he's also asking to Oliver, "Hey Oliver, do you also have a switching card and a Zacian to set up? Because if you don't, I'm just gonna run away with the game."
Yes, really a play that could net you a huge advantage right here.
Yeah.
Going for the paralysis, being aggressive with
Oh, he
that.
can actually go for the GX here if he wants to.
Oh, we can
Attaching
just
the
get the
air balloon
knockout,
energy
yeah,
switching.
for
Yeah,
280, right? Oh my god, that's
exactly.
insane.
Beautiful stuff here, and that's an nail in the coffin. I would say the Zamazenta does not really match up to the expectations of this matchup. Really a Scamazenta in the situation, and the switches back, lining right, taking the knockout on this big beefy boy.
Yeah, 280 damage. I mean, that's certainly why he went for the electrify, having like giving yourself more flexibility, having the option to move the energies around a little bit better and spread them. And yeah, finally hits on the other pad here for Oliver. So let's
Yeah.
see what he
A
can
bit
do.
of a briefing, some briefing room here for Oliver, but unfortunately he needs to like quick ball, probably get a Detene, which is not something great against Pikarom, and especially right now. But is that just goes for Zation? Pretty slow, but as long as this Zamazenta does not get knocked out next turn, then he probably has a chance.
Yeah, Intrepid Sword also drawing a few cards. No, if you're not attacking anyway, always feels
Yeah,
good to get the +3. And yeah, but now Aaron has also a lot of flexibility. Can switch
yeah.
the energies of the
I'm pretty sure he has the
right
knockout as well
Jirachi.
with the ball tunes, so this Zamazenta will just be knocked out if I'm counting correctly.
Yes.
7 energies times 3, 210. Actually, he's just a damage short, but there we go. The Electro Power will do it. And yeah, I don't think there's any other better play. He cannot play a Boss Orders this turn. So yeah, he needs to play the Electro Power in order to get the knockout. And even then, it would just be one prizes left.
Yeah, and then if you go to down to one price, your opponent can't really bench anything like a
Mm,
Jirachi or Engaru and stuff that can never hit
yeah,
the board.
I
And
think
yeah,
he could even went for the Paralyze here and just chill basically. He doesn't, but there we go. He draws because he didn't have the other Bolton in the deck, but he did draw it right now from the prizes. So he's in a pretty safe spot. As long as the Thunder Mountain remains in the board, he's just gonna take another knockout next turn.
yes. I mean, I think also Aaron has an energy switch left, and he can, yeah, if you go for data change, then you can refresh your hand. You know your opponent is not doing like a whole bunch
Indeed.
because, yeah, there's like the Zacian is forced to move to the active, and stuff like Jirachi can't come down, and you can't source it to your active metal Pokemon. And yeah, it's just super rough. Another order pet Tails, so not paying off for Oliver this time, the flipping cards.
Exactly. There we go, even an order pad. And this really shows how much the ADPization deck needs at least 1 or 2 turns of Intrepid Sword. If you don't have this Intrepid Sword and you don't have a supporter, for example, then you will just fall short after some turns. And I think right now Oliver does not even have the knockout take down this Bolton. This Bolton already has the knockout on board.
Yeah, I think so. Barring like some crazy energy switch shenanigans, yeah,
No.
there's just the Intrepid Sword to draw some more cards, but yeah, just
Yeah, broken heart, unfortunately. Well played, and it's just gonna be game. Energy attachment to grant us extra 30 damage, and the Bolt Storm will take the knockout on the last station, knocking Oliver out of the tournament. Congratulations to him as well. Positioned himself into the top 8, and had an amazing performance. He won one qualifier after all.
yes, certainly really impressive stuff here by Oliver. And also congratulations to Aaron. He's moving on and he's still fighting for that spot in the grand finals. And I think it's actually kind of funny that we move on to an all-American player field remaining now that Oliver is eliminated. So
Oh my god,
they are
it's
certainly
NA. It's
dominating the
NA.
tournament right now.
Oh my god, it's NA. Oh well.
Yeah,
Well, in any case, good luck to everybody, and very, very well played for two both players. They really showcased the strength of their decks really well. They both played very, very well, and yeah, fantastic stuff.
yeah. I think that's basically it for now. And I think we'll go to a short break and we will be right back with the winners final I believe, which is Kevin versus Luke, and both of them are
Indeed.
playing Spiritomb, and it's going to be super interesting. I have no idea how the mirror match will go, but yeah, I'm certainly super stoked to see that. And yeah, we will be right back after a quick break.